What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for joining me tonight for another episode of the Death of Deasia. When y'all get in here, go ahead and like the video, share the video, and make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on all of your social media platforms. Everything is Death of Deasia. Tonight, I'm going back to the basics. I'm gonna do a story time with y'all, all right? Um, there were some things that I went through tonight on my Facebook timeline or whatever, just scrolling. I went through a couple of things, just scrolling or whatever, and it brought me to chorus. And I wanted to talk about this because I ran across a video tonight that really bothered me. There was this lady on one of the reels or whatever, and she was pregnant. It looked like she's about to pop at this particular time, and she had stretch marks or whatever, and she was just so concerned about her stretch marks. And I'm sitting up there like, why are you stressing out about stretch marks and you sitting up here carrying a whole human? Like, you're making a whole human right now, and you're worrying about stretch marks. And I was thinking, like, I've never even ran across any man, woman that had anything to say about stretch marks. But I remember a time when I was way younger that I had a concern about stretch marks. I used to have like this was the craziest spot that a stretch mark could be at. But some of y'all could probably agree with this. But um I had stretch marks at the back of my leg. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't fat or anything like that or whatever the case may be. I was a little thicker. I've always have been thicker than my peers or whatever, but it wasn't anything that you could be like, oh, she's fat or anything like that. But I had stretch marks at the back of my leg, and I was just very insecure about these stretch marks for my own self, but nobody said anything about it. I never got clowned for it. I never was the kid that grew up and got bullied or anything. Never dealt with a guy that said anything about it. It had got to the point where my mama, she ended up getting some oils and all this old kind of stuff, and I no longer have those stretch marks, but I have stretch marks in other places. You get what I'm saying? But all at the same time, that never was an issue for me. But so I kind of, when I was looking at this woman's video, I actually forgot about my experience that I had way when I was way younger, like in middle school or whatever. I forgot about that. And that made me have a little bit of empathy where I was able to sympathize with the situation a little bit and say, you know what? Sometimes people just be having like issues or whatever that they haven't fully been able to realize the reason why they actually have these issues, or they haven't been able to move past certain issues, or especially if you have a woman that she's never had stretch marks or anything in her life before, and when she get pregnant, all of a sudden her body is changing and new things are coming about, and she's like, oh my god, what I'm supposed to do about this? So she's dealing with like the body image issues while she's actually pregnant, and just really need to be concerned with whether or not this baby gonna come out healthy, right? So here's the thing, with me actually looking at that, it made me think about, you know what? I don't even have body image issues. And a lot of people will come to me sometimes and be like, you know what? You a big girl, you a BBW. It got to be something that you're insecure about. I don't know why people project on you like that, but they do that. And there's really not, like, the things that I've been insecure about as I've gained more weight or whatever. I push myself to where I put certain things out there or whatever that I used to be insecure about, and I'm like, let me put this out there, let me deal with that. because in order to create, or I say build your confidence, sometimes you have to just step out there and you got to do things that you are afraid of. You got to present yourself in ways that you are afraid of in order for you to build and create your confidence. So with me putting certain things out there and dealing with what comes with that and processing all of that, it got me to a point where I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And especially with coming up in Memphis, what we did was we call it checking. I know some people call it roasting or firing or joning or whatever the case may be. We call it checking. So you going home every day, walking with all these kids talking about your ass, regardless of how you look. That's just the way we had fun. So it prepared me for all of this stuff that we're seeing right now, right? And it was something that was very important that happened to me that made me really make all of that negative stuff that I thought about myself. It made all of that negative stuff like white noise where I hear it, I know it's there, but I don't give a fuck about it, right? And the craziest thing that I realized tonight was my hair was the thing that saved me from body image issues. And I'm gonna walk y'all all the way through this. So I come from a family. I come from a very old school traditional family or whatnot. Like in my family, as a woman, your beauty is your currency. Pick up what I'm putting down right now. Your beauty is your currency, right? So I got a whole family full of nothing but everybody is beautiful. And I'm not saying this just because they're my family. I'm just saying this because it is the truth. Whatever type of woman, and I'm just going, the men are absolutely beautiful too, but we ain't talking about men right now. The women in my family, every hue from light skin, caramel, medium dark, all the way to very dark or whatever the case may, everybody beautiful as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Bodies out the frame. I come from an absolutely beautiful family. You cannot come to my family reunion and not be amazed at what you see. My family is absolutely gorgeous. You hear me? I'm telling you something. And I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this shit just because it's my family. I'm saying this because it's real. I'm telling you, absolutely gorgeous. So when you coming up with all of these beautiful women with the best bodies that you could ever see, you know what I'm saying? Nothing surprised me. Like this Hollywood shit, this Instagram shit, and this social media, Facebook or whatever, the Twitter and all that. Y'all ain't y'all ain't surprising me with none of that because I grew up around stunning, absolutely beautiful women where men drop to their feet. A lot of the women that I came up with is housewives, ain't never worked no job or nothing like that, or whatever the case may be. That's how I came up. So for me, your beauty was your currency. Make sure you got everything right and tight. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you put a little rouge on when you step out the house, have on your earrings, get yourself together, whatever the case may be, all that or whatever, because you gonna step out and you gonna find a man, he gonna take care of you. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. That's just what it was. This new wave of all this independent woman shit, that's a little different from me or whatever the case may be, because I ain't come up like that, because it was like your beauty was your currency. All these people talking about what you finna bring to the table and all that. I ain't grow up like that. That's the reason why people probably be looking at me and be like, well, you a little big and you need to pay what you weigh. Baby. I'm sticking to my roots. You know what I'm saying? You could say whatever you want to, but I'm gonna stick to my roots. And you can feel any type of way about it. You ain't finna Kevin Samuels to me. But anyway, but I'm realistic too, so don't get that twisted. But anyway, what I'm saying is I'm emphasizing it to get you to understand how important beauty was in my family, and how um my hair journey ended up saving me for having body dysmorphia, or having body image issues, because as I was coming up in the country eating that cornbread, them greens and beans, potatoes, tomatoes, and all that kind of shit, you know, I ended up being like the only one that got negatively affected by it. I always been the one that was a little bit bigger than my peers and all that kind of stuff, or whatever the case may be. So think about someone that is coming up around all these beautiful women. They got the perfect shape, perfect bodies, the perfect face, and all this old kinds of stuff, or whatever, the perfect hair and everything like that. And you're the only one that is a little different than them. You know what I'm saying? So after a while, it started doing something to you. Not that people on the outside are saying anything, but it's kind of like you're just looking at the images that you have around you, and you feel a certain type of way about yourself without anybody even saying anything. So for my family to push that this is what beauty is, I felt like I got to look like them. Y'all thinking about, y'all don't even know these people on Instagram, and y'all looking at women on Instagram talking about, I want to look like them. Bitch, I grew up with women that look like them. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I need to look like them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't look like them. Why I don't look like them? You know what I'm saying? So I dealt with all of that as a youngster coming up, or whatever the case may be. But it was things that kind of like helped me during the way, where I was still I was getting my same little bit of attention and doing my little thing or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no big old issue or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I dealt with what the people are dealing with right now in society. We're looking at people on Instagram. I dealt with that in real life with just looking at people in my family, comparing myself to. And so what ended up happening for me, and the reason why I say that my hair saved me from body dysmorphia, is because, like, when I was younger, and if you go back and you look at my pictures or whatever, you'll be like, you really weren't fat. You know what I'm saying? But I was just bigger than them. You get what I'm saying? So when I was coming up, it was this thing like, I'm just a kid or a teenager. I'm getting put on certain diets, watching Billy Blanks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just all kinds of stuff going on. Like, you need to go walk this mile, you need to do this or whatever. So I ended up fad dieting when I was younger, not because I wanted to. It was just the fact that my family was stuck on beauty, and this is the way that you're supposed to look. And I felt like this is the way that I'm supposed to look, and because I don't look like that, I felt some type of way. So you got these people that's telling you, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that, or whatever. Please trust and believe that the women in my family didn't let me just slip away. They was like, nah, you 16 years old, you a little thick in the thighs or whatever. You so thick in the thighs that you got a little piece of stretch mark or whatever coming on up behind there. Oh, we got to get you together, baby, because your beauty is your currency. We got to get you right on together. So it created like this negative image of myself in my mind that I actually did not have for myself, but they pushed that upon me because it was like a projection, so to speak, where they felt like, God damn, bitch, like y'all let me grow out of my baby fat. You know what I'm saying? They finna have the little baby on the treadmill with some weights on or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me some time to, maybe I get a little taller and some of this fat shit will stretch out. You know what I'm saying? Give me a minute. You hear me? So, anyway, on top of that, your hair is very important. Your hair had to be laid and slayed. Whatever is popping at that particular time, you had to be down with it. You had to be one of them girls. You hear me? Your beauty was your currency. So what ended up happening for me, um, I kind of isolated myself a bit because I was like, this this what they trying to do is not happening fast enough for me or whatever. And some of the fad dies, we kind of configured all of that ourselves, really didn't know what we was doing. It was like one of those things where, oh, okay, let's just eat potatoes, let's just eat rice, let's not eat meat. We don't even understand macros and carbs and proteins and fats and none of that shit because we from the country. But people think just don't eat meat, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, we eating a whole bunch of carbohydrates trying to lose weight and not knowing this shit fucking you up. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, fast forward, I'm like, maybe what, 19 years old. 19 years old, I moved to Texas, right? So I get to Texas, and I was always one of those people that was a little different anyway. I thought different for one, because my family was religious, Christian, and all of that. I ain't never believe in that shit, and I could never voice it. You know what I'm saying? So I come to Texas, and I'm like, um, let me figure out my reason for being here, just on Earth. And so I started tapping into a lot of things like Wicca. I picked up Buddhism. I learned a little bit of what is the Shani or Shani? I don't know which one is it. It's some kind of Muslim group, and then I picked up a little bit of 5% knowledge, all kinds of stuff. I was just all over the place, right, for a length of time. So I got to a point where I was trying to find myself, and I was a deep thinker, and I was just like thinking about stupid shit. And I used to sit up and think about, you know what, the top of your mouth can't move, but the bottom of your mouth can move. Like, I used to sit around and think about shit like that, like I was getting high. Like, why the top of your mouth move, but the bottom part of your mouth, like you can't move the top of this shit right here, you can't move this, but you can move that. That's the type of dumb shit that I used to be sitting around thinking about. And I'm used to be like, why is it that you could turn the light on and it was dark this minute, it was light this minute? What's the amount of seconds between the light and the dark? Like, I literally used to be thinking about all that kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff led me to quantum physics, quantum mechanics, quantum leaps, black holes. I was just all over the damn place. You hear me? Numerology, astrology, astronomy, whatever it was, I was all over the damn place. So it's really nothing that you can tell me. It's really nothing that you could talk to me about that I don't know something about, because I done read damn near every book and done thought about damn near everything, whether it makes sense or didn't make sense, right? So one day I was thinking about, why is it that all these other races of women wear their hair? And I be perming my hair all the time. And why they get to walk around with what just grow up out of their head? Why I can't walk around with what just grow out of my head? I don't even know how that look at this point. Because from since I was a youngin', I've been getting my hair pressed. I've been getting my hair permed. So I was like, shit, I wonder what it looks like for my hair to grow out of my scalp. That's really what I thought. I wasn't on no revolutionary shit. I wasn't on nothing but just like, I wonder how it looks for my hair to grow out of my scalp. So one day I went in, got me some it was the, what was it that time? Singles twist or kinky twist or something that we used to wear back in the day. I had got something done in my head and I didn't want to take them down. And I just said, fuck it. And I had got some scissors and I just went to cutting them out. And then I looked a fool after I went to cutting them out. I looked like Tiffany Haddish and shit. And so then I went to a barber shop that was across the street from my apartment. Shout out to Joe Pro. I still remember his name from all this time. Shout out to Joe Pro. I went to a barber shop and he was kind of like scared to touch my hair because he was like, "What the fuck is you doing?" You know what I'm saying? So I get my hair cut like really, really low. And after I had got my hair cut, I got when I walked out of the barber shop, I got so much attention. Like people was coming up to me trying to talk to me and stuff, and I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? What's really going on? And I'm gonna circle back into what was happening when I got my hair cut, right? And why these people were approaching me. So I'm like, they was like, "What's up with you? How you doing? Can I get your number?" And all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I had never got that much attention in my life. Not like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, give me a minute. You know, I'm just still trying to soak all of this in. So the turning point for me was my mom saw my haircut. My granny saw my haircut. And the different women in my family saw my haircut. Mind you, your beauty is your currency and your hair is very important, right? At that time. My people told me the whole time I was worrying about before then, the whole time I was worrying about my body. And I thought it was something about my body that I needed to do to make me beautiful. And when I heard they never said that I wasn't beautiful because of my body. They never said that. Even though I got put on fad diets and all that kind of stuff or whatever, they never really came out their mouth and said that you're not beautiful. I never heard that before I cut my hair. When I cut my hair, they told me, "You cut your beauty off." That fucked me up. I'm bald head as fuck. They told me, "You cut your beauty off." So the whole time I was thinking it was something wrong with my body, but they never said it. So I never internalized it like that for real. When I cut my hair off and they told me that, it fucked me up. But I'm glad that it fucked me up because when I look at society and how it is now, and how all of these women have these body issues and they land on these tables and they're writing their life away to look a certain type of way. I'm glad that my only issue was my hair, but it was a journey that I had to go through that a lot of people wouldn't even understand the depths of it and how bad it was. Mind you, this wasn't a time where women were being praised for having natural hair. This wasn't a time where there were any products out for women that had natural hair. You had to figure this shit out on your own and get it how you live. Like I even got to a point where even if I let my hair grow out to a certain extent, I just go back and cut it all the way back low because I didn't even know how to treat my little tiny afro or whatever the case may be because we did not have anything out there catered to us. But when they told me you cut your beauty off, I got to a point where I felt defeated because I was worrying about this one thing, but now is another thing, right? So where do I go? What can I do at this particular point? I got this to deal with and I got this to deal with. What else can I do right now? Because my back is up against the wall. So I decided to push through the middle. I'm gonna go through the middle and I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna deal with this shit and I'm gonna come into the world and I ain't gonna conform to shit. The rest of the world gonna have to conform to me. I ain't conforming to shit. And I was like, y'all got me fucked up. That was my mindset. Like, seriously. I was like, no, you don't get to tell me no more what is beautiful. You don't get to tell me how I should feel about myself. Fuck what you talking about. Guess what? I thought about, you know what? I had somebody to tell me, a family member that I love dearly, I ain't gonna even say the name or whatever, tell me, don't you come by my house unless you have on a wig, because you setting us 100 years back for cutting your hair off with that afro. I had to deal with that. Guess what? No, I ain't got to internalize your bullshit. I ain't got to listen to you tell me how I'm not beautiful and how I should feel about myself. Bitch, you going to have to deal with me. Guess what? I'm popping up with my bald head. Now what? What you going to do? Because you can't whoop me. What you gonna do? You gonna have to deal with it. So I did not shrink myself for nobody else. I never put on no wig to go to no interview. When I seen people look at me funny or whatever the case may be, I go on to jobs and people be questioning me and ask me all these different questions. You know what? I answer your question, but bitch, don't touch my hair. You know what I'm saying? And I was big, bad, and bold walking through that motherfucker. And the reason why I was big, bad, and bold, because even though my family pushed that image of beauty on me and telling me how it's supposed to be or whatever the case may be, they still fortified me in a certain type of way. They still gave me courage in a certain type of way, because when you're beautiful, people fall to your feet. So I experienced that. And so I understood what it is. So if I can't get you to fall to my feet this way, then you're going to have to fall to my feet the way that I sent you out to fall to my feet. I'm not conforming to you, your ways, your standards, or your ideologies. In short, you got me fucked up. You get what I'm saying? So it was a thing where I started trying all kinds of stuff. Once I got to the point where you ain't finna affect me with what you gotta say about me, I got to the point I loved with my hair being short. I love the, like, at that point, the controversy, the more and more you say some shit about me, the more and more I'm finna put this shit in your face. The more you got a problem with my short hair, bitch, I'm finna cut this shit, Lord, as I can possibly get it, and I'm finna color it all types of colors so you can see it. Cause you ain't gonna be able to whoop me. If you got something to say about it, that was me. I'm gonna step into this building however I want to. I'm not conforming to nobody. And that was just me. And at that particular time, I ended up, I have my hair short. I have my hair a little bit in these little sideshow bob looking stuff. I got to the point I was like, let me find somebody to do my locks. I get to playing around. I'll be doing all this old kinds of stuff or whatever the case may be. And I was so fierce and I was so bold about my hair, into where people start looking at my body and be like, oh, she got confidence. She, bitch, you was looking at my body. I ain't even worried about my body. Like, I'm trying to push the barriers on my crown, and you worrying about something else. I ain't even worrying about that. I don't even see that, because this, my hair gave me more problems than my body. So I ain't even worried about it. What are you talking about? So that's what I focused on. And because I focused on that so much, to where now when I have time to entertain things on social media, I be like, oh, people have problems with this. Oh, people got an issue with this. Like, I seen that pregnant lady with the stretch marks or whatever. I was like, you're pregnant. You got a whole human bathing in you. You know what I'm saying? You carrying a whole life and you worrying about a stretch mark. You get what I'm saying? Where it was a point in time where I did too. But I got so caught up in what I had to deal with my hair, to where it distracted me. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad that it distracted me, because I could not imagine being an adult, somebody that's going to work every day, grinding, taking care of families, um, handling your business in all different aspects of life, being a mom, being a daughter, being a wife, being a girlfriend if you don't have that wife title, um, being an employee, being a boss, being an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? Being sexy, whatever the case may be. I couldn't imagine trying to be all of those things and actually worrying about what people got to say about you, actually feeling some type of way about your body. The little things where you feel like you got to lay down on a table and you got to get nipped and tucked. For who? For what? For why? For people that's damn near going to be ungrateful of you anyway? That damn near going to treat you like shit anyway? And it's absolutely okay if you want to do all of that. That's cool. Do all of that. If I wouldn't be scared to put to sleep, I'm gonna tell you, if I wouldn't be scared to put to sleep, there's two things that I would do. I would go get a a breast reduction, and I go get my damn side teeth fixed or whatever. I don't even know if I gotta get put to sleep to get my side teeth replaced or whatever, because these bitches is missing like a motherfucker. But they gotta put them screws and do them transplants, and I'm scared of that. You know what I'm saying? I done had quotes and everything. I'm scared of that. I'm scared of anything that's gonna make me drowsy, or I gotta get put to sleep, and it's some type of surgery. I'm scared of that. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. The third thing, I would go get a weight loss surgery if I wasn't scared to be put to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is heavy. You know what I'm saying? But all at the same time, it wouldn't be to appease anybody else. It'll be because this is something that I want to do for myself. You get what I'm saying? And it's nothing wrong if you want to do those certain things for yourself, but you got to make sure your mind right. And a lot of these surgeries that people be having, they do psych evaluations or whatever the case may be. So you got to come to terms of what's driving you. And in the meantime, in between time, before you get to where you're trying to go, you got to be okay with where you're at. And it doesn't mean that you got to be stagnant or you got to be content to where you don't continue to grow and you don't continue to strive for greatness. But you got to find some type of way to be okay with yourself, because the world is forever changing, and people come up with all of their different type of ways of looking at things, and they little bullshit, they different ideologies and all that old kind of stuff, and they push that on you or whatever. And it's not to tell you to not remain competitive in this world. Yeah, we're living in a competitive society. I'm no fool. I understand. See, I told y'all I grew up in a family where your beauty was your currency. So I understand being competitive. And a lot of women out here, they fail to realize that you do have to be competitive. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women, they take the back route of being competitive. They don't understand the different rules to the game. They don't understand everything that is needed. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand everything that their counterparts desire. So a lot of times women will be like, oh, okay, men are visual, you know. Yes, they are. But that's only gonna get you so far. You know what I'm saying? So with me knowing that I'm not cookie cutter, I'm not the Instagram model. I'm not this. I'm not that. I ain't finna shame them one of them bitches. Bitch, y'all look good as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to quit getting the same ass bodies, because it's getting boring and it's looking like I'm looking at a trail of ants. You know what I'm saying? But all at the same time, like, do your thing. Y'all look good as fuck or whatever the case may be. But all at the same time, I got to get in where I fit in. So if I'm in this arena and we're competing or whatever the case may be, I got to use what I have as an advantage against this other person over here. And it's not to knock anyone down, but all at the same time, you got to use what you got and you got to work your muscle. You got to make what you got work for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why a motherfucker be so shocked and confused when a big bitch getting a cash app and getting flued out just like them. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what to do with what I got. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only difference between me and other people. And it's not it's no comparison. But it's just like uh TC had said what he be saying, if you stay in your own lane, you ain't never gotta worry about traffic. And that's some real shit. If you stay in your own lane, you ain't never got to worry about traffic. If you can figure out what's your best asset, you also need to know what your weaknesses are, because your weaknesses sometimes they'll trump your asset if you don't have them under control. But if you understand what your best asset is and what your weaknesses are, you'll be able to maneuver and win out here. But all at the same time, this doesn't mean get relaxed. It doesn't mean settle. It doesn't mean to, just let yourself go or whatever the case may be. Do what you can within your power, you know, but don't get so far caught up into what everybody else is doing where you start feeling like it's hopeless for you because of what you see other people doing and what they got going on. Because you got to understand, I don't see too many of these women with these manufactured bodies with no husband if they desire one. I don't see that. I don't see too many of them. And if you do see it, it's a celebrity. I don't see no regular everyday common girl that's walking around like that with these manufactured bodies. They got a husband, so that's something that you need to think about. Because bitch, you is not a celebrity. You don't know how to rap. You don't know how to sing. You don't know how to model or nothing like that. So you don't strip or nothing. So you going out here and buying this ass, and what you finna do with it? Ain't no sense you buying the ass and you living on the third floor of the apartment and you pulling them groceries all the way up there, and you know what I'm saying, you still riding around in the Hyundai like everybody else trying to figure out what's your next move and what you gonna do for a next meal, and you trying to trick a nigga out of a crab bowl. You get your life together, baby. Get your life together. You know what I'm saying? You need to figure out your priorities. I'm just telling you what I know. Y'all pick up what I'm putting down out there. I'm just telling you what I know. I ain't That's all I'm doing. I ain't seen it, but do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And don't be comparing yourself to other people. I'm all for doing whatever it is that you want to do. But for me, it was so it was so crazy to even be able to recognize that something as simple as a hair journey stopped me from having body image issues. And I didn't even think about that at first until tonight when I had seen the damn lady with the stretch marks and was pregnant. And I was just, and sometimes I'd be sitting up there and I'd be seeing certain things and I'd be like, that don't bother me. That don't bother me. That don't bother me. And I actually had people, because certain things don't bother me, and I might poke fun or whatever because certain things don't bother me. And I've had people that actually tell me, "Oh, you're fat phobic," and I want to give an apology. Well, I don't want to give too much of an apology because, bitch, I might still say certain things. So I don't want to give too much of an apology to stop my freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? But I realize that because I don't have certain issues, I realize I have been insensitive at times towards people who look like me, and it could come off as if I have an issue or I'm delusional or I don't understand my position and who I am. My thing is, you don't get to determine my position and who I am. That's the difference. I don't conform to people in their ideologies or whatever the case may be. That's the difference. But I understand how another woman who looks like me, who's built like me, and I'm saying certain things could be like, oh, you supposed to be over here rallying for us. I get that. But no, I'm not no mascot for nobody. You know what I'm saying? You'll never trap me in no box. You'll never Lizzo me. You know what I'm saying? Don't no motherfucker want to be fat, even though I'm fat. No, I don't want to be fat. You know what I'm saying? I ain't signed up for this. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta I learn how to deal with it. You get what I'm saying? So you'll never put me in a position where it's like, oh, okay, you was clowning skinny people and all that like Monique, and now all of a sudden you done lost weight and you wanted to be little to whole. Nah, you'll never do that shit to me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing for you when it comes to that. But all at the same time, I I I I'm wise enough to understand now the reason why certain people felt a certain way and would say that because of the simple fact I don't have certain issues. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of things like legit be funny to me because I don't have certain issues. And what I want everybody to do, this is what I want everybody to do and leave home with. You know how like when you're bored and you're just doing something, or you being reckless or whatever, and people will tell you to find a hobby. What I want you to do is find something about yourself that you absolutely love. I don't care if it's a physical thing. I don't care if it's a character, personality thing. If whatever, so say for instance, if you have a body image issue, find something that you love that don't have nothing to do with your body. Find something that you love about your personality or something like that. Or if it's something about your body that you could find that you love, like it was my hair. You know what I'm saying? Um, find something that you love about yourself, something that you will fight to the death about yourself. Just find that one thing that won't trigger you if somebody says something about it, and you're going to defend it to the end until you're the last one standing. Find something about yourself. And if you find that one thing about yourself, that whenever somebody attack you, that you can fall back on that, I'm telling you, it will 9 times out of 10 correct or fix any issues that you have with something else, because you ain't gonna even have time to focus on it. So sometimes you gotta find refuge in within yourself. We always find refuge outwardly. And one thing about happiness, happiness is your responsibility. It ain't no, your happiness is your responsibility. It's not anyone else's responsibility to make you happy or to sustain your happiness. That is your responsibility. Find you something that you absolutely love and you adore about yourself. And guess what? If you actually nurture that and you put that on the forefront, I'm gonna tell you something. Not only would you forget about the bullshit that you was thinking about, other people won't even see it. You ain't gotta be fake. You ain't gotta be camouflaging anything or anything like that. But shift the direction. Only thing you gotta do is shift the direction. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta pick yourself apart and you start have to compartmentalizing things that you're even focusing on into where other people won't even focus on if you give a fuck about what other people got to say. You know what I'm saying? So just start shifting that and you're gonna be all right. And I didn't even know that I was on a hair journey. I was just sitting up there on on dumb shit like I'm high. I wonder if my hair gonna grow out my roots like this. And next thing you know, I'm sitting up here. I don't give a fuck. I ain't got to. You see, ain't no retwist, none like that. Hair nappy, whatever the case may be. I'm on here, bitch. Uh, what? You get what I'm saying? I ain't worrying about none of that because this is me, and I love it. And I don't give a fuck if you don't like it, because, bitch, you can't whoop me. And that's that on that. But anyway, make sure y'all go ahead and like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Next Monday, well, this upcoming Monday, um, on the Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast, which I'm a part of, we're gonna have Keem Ahmad TV. He's a guy that does the reaction videos and everything, has a great following on YouTube or whatever, and Instagram, Twitter, all that. He's gonna be on our show. Y'all go over there, check out their podcast, Hip Hop School Past and Present. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to that as well. We're on there every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you subscribe to my page or my YouTube channel, Deaths of the Asia. I pop up when I want to because this my shit. I'm going to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody pop me about it. But anyway, y'all make sure y'all do that. Matter of fact, before I get off here, let me read some of these comments. I see y'all in the comments. I don't want to just ignore y'all. Jazz say she did the same for me. She say, march to the beat of your own drum. Hey, girl, Maggie. Yes, God, honey. Blue girl. Hello, Miss Lady. Long time no see, Miss Beautiful. Thank you. Had my teeth done. I was terrified, but it was. You do need to be competitive to get a good man, which just means working on yourself to be a good wife, partner, material. Once a man knows he wants you, he would go all out. Same thing in a job or on YouTube. People are attracted on good qualities and recognize quality. No need for anyone to use weight or take jabs to down someone. Yes, God, honey. The real life men outside of Hollywood said they don't like manufacture women. You look great because guess what? These women inject fat in their bodies to get fatter after years of fat shaming women. Go figure, child. You sure know what to say. Lamarcus, yep, you ain't lying. Blue girl, the issue is people getting into toxic relationships and then ruining their happiness. Yes, God. Lamarcus, shout out to you. Thank you so much, baby. But anyway, again, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Make sure y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't let these people bother y'all. You know what I'm saying? Do what makes you happy because you only got one life to live. And my thing is take all the risks, do whatever it is that you want to, walk into the world like you that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck, because you only got one life to live. So ain't no sense of feeling some type of way or letting somebody put a measuring stick against you and tell you what your worth is and what your value is and who you should be and what you need to accept because of what society has set for you. Do you and make yourself happy because your happiness is your responsibility. And on that note, I am out of here. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Deaths of the Ages Story Time.
I hope you black men were paying attention. I hope you black men were paying attention.